When you got into the business of being a real estate agent here on Long Island, you had an imagination of what you could earn, only to start and find out it was actually harder than it looked. So your goal is to reach $100,000. I'm going to share a very simple formula with you. I'm going to write down $100,000 divided by 6,000. What does that equal? That gets you to 17. All right. $100,000 you want to make in a year. Let's say on Long Island for averages, you're going to make $6,000 per commission. Well, that just requires 17 deals to get to 100,000. And you're going to say, 17, that sounds like a lot. And it could be, but I want to break this down further for you and show you exactly how you're going to get to 17. So I'm going to write down 3 more numbers. 40 to 10 to 1. This is 40 conversations to 10 appointments to 1 transaction. So 40, where do we get that number 40? Well, we track numbers ourselves, and we know that the average real estate agent, regardless if they're on a team, brokerage, the average across the entire profession of real estate on Long Island takes about 40 conversations, real estate specific conversations to get to that 1 transaction. So that's the number we're going to focus on today. 40 times 17 equals 680. 680 conversations. And that might sound like a lot, but if you break it down over a year, and let's figure you have 680 conversations, let's divide that by 50. 50 is the number of weeks you're going to work in a given year. Well, guess what? Now you're down to just 14 conversations a week. That is 2 conversations a day. Can you have 2 real estate related conversations per day? So here are the key numbers. We have conversations. I'm going to put the number 2 for 2 conversations per day. Appointments, I'm going to make that 3.4. That's 3.4 conversations a week. The next, contracts. 1.4. If you're having 2 conversations a day, you're going to get to 3.4 conversations a month. That's going to add up to 1.4 contracts to get to your 17 deals in a year. You know what that conversion rate is? That's 2.5. More than the industry average, just by being focused on one thing, and that's having real estate related conversations. For your personal pipeline, working backwards on $100,000, that's $8,400. That's the number that you want to be focused on, because you know if you're having more real estate related conversations, you're going to have more appointments that are going to lead to those contracts. So every month is worth $8,400 to you. And your weekly target, I'm going to go back and I'm going to put 14 again. 14 weekly real estate related conversations. So if yesterday you were under the weather, you had a headache, you couldn't go out and have those conversations, you know the next day you should probably try to have 4 conversations. Well, what if you stop focusing on the appointments, understood the math says that those appointments are going to come when you ask the right questions and say the right things. You just focus on having the quality conversations. You start building the trust. You start asking the right questions. Let me tell you about Amanda. Amanda was relatively new to the team and she just had a lot of potential, but she was struggling. So we applied this principle with her, and I was meeting her every week, one-on-one. And here's what happened. She was able to get her conversion in a matter of a few weeks all the way up to 6%, simply by having more real estate related conversations. She committed to having more conversations more often. And what did that do to her number? Well, the more experience you have and the more momentum you get, you start getting down to things like 30 conversations to get to one transaction. You start to see experience take you down further. If you want the sheet that all the agents on our team use to help them achieve their goals, just message me formula and I'd be happy to share it with you.